You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
This is Chip Gilchrist, voice of the Kingston Frontenacs. You're listening to OHL Overtime, an in-depth interview show highlighting the players, coaches, and broadcasters from around the Ontario Hockey League who make the league so great, as well as in-person coverage of events such as the OHL Playoffs, OHL Championship Series, OHL Combine, and more, exclusively on the Armchair GM Sports Network. Here's your program host, Brandon Caputo.
Welcome into another episode of OHL Overtime right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network and our Friday Night Faceoff preview episode. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in on the video version on YouTube. You know what to do. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, smash that bell, comment your thoughts on the episode. And thank you very much to those listening on your favorite on-demand audio podcast platform. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you're getting your podcast from. We really appreciate your support as always over there. You can also give us a follow on X at Armchair GM Pod for our X Spaces post-game shows, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok by searching the Armchair GM Sports Network for all of our short reels and content. As always, Brandon Caputo with you to preview Friday Night Faceoff. This week's installment is a Central Division matchup between the North Bay Battalion and the Sudbury Wolves up in the Sudbury Community Arena. Friday night, 7 p.m. All the action will go down from Sudbury as this northern rivalry adds another piece to that long-standing book between these two clubs. Coming into this season, coming into the game, North Bay's 4-1 against the Wolves this season. Sudbury 1-3-1. Over the last 5 years, the Battalion have really had the number of the Sudbury Wolves. In that time, 27-9-3-2, Sudbury 14-23-3-1. But again, no matter where these two teams are in the standings, it's always an interesting matchup. It was a close 2-1 game back on January 15th where North Bay took that one on home ice. But again, 2-1. Again, that game could have gone either way. Sudbury right now fighting for that final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Right now sitting 9 points up on the Brampton Steelheads. The North Bay Battalion have now clinched a playoff spot at the time of recording this episode, and they sit 4 points back of the Peterborough Petes for home ice in that possible 4-5 matchup in the Eastern Conference. They sit 6 points up on the Niagara Ice Dogs, but the Ice Dogs have a game in hand. So again, still a lot of jockeying for position, the final 10 or so games in that Eastern Conference between the 4 and 7 spots between the Peterborough Petes, North Bay Battalion, Niagara Ice Dogs, and even the Kingston Frontenacs. Sudbury Wolves, again, trying to remain 8th and final playoff spot, 9 points up on the Brampton Steelheads coming into this important Friday night rivalry matchup. Captain Ethan Procession leads the North Bay in both goals and points. The Anaheim Ducks prospect continues to pace the Battalion in all situations. Nick Wellenrider, known for his shootout success, sits second on the team in points. Minnesota Wild prospect Lear Mamedovsky has produced a career-high 21 goals and 38 points, while deadline acquisitions Sebastian Gervais and Caden Petrie have added depth after arriving from Saginaw and Flint, respectively. Draft-eligible forward Ryder Cali remains one of the top NHL prospects, who we'll talk about a little bit more in depth here coming up shortly. In goal, Jack Lisson has been one of the league's breakout stories with 20 wins and a 2.50 goals against average and a .913 save percentage. Los Angeles Kings prospect Jan Chauvin leads Sudbury in goals and points, leads Sudbury with 21 goals and 43 points overall. New York Rangers defenseman Artem Gonchar provides steady production from the back end as well. Since being acquired from Windsor, 2026 NHL Draft eligible forward JC Lemieux has added 20 goals and 36 points, while fellow 2026 prospect Adam Nemec, who we'll also talk about here shortly, has made an immediate impact with 24 points in just 20 games with the Wolves. Bjorn Bronis has started the majority of the games for Sudbury, 11 wins and an .899 save percentage to go along with a 3.43 goals against average. Sudbury's defeated Flint and Ottawa on home ice earlier this month to underscore just how difficult the Wolves can be to handle on home ice. With playoff positioning and Northern pride on the line, Friday's meeting adds another chapter to one of the OHL's most familiar rivalries. Fans can watch this game for free on Flow Hockey's YouTube, X, and Facebook channels, as well as the OHL's Facebook page. And again, you do not need a subscription to watch the Friday Night Faceoff showcase game. Sudbury comes in 4-6 over their last 10, while the North Bay Battalion 6-3-1 over their last 10 games. The two gentlemen we'll be speaking with on today's show, Ryder Cali, draft-eligible forward for the North Bay Battalion, Swiss-born but grew up in Penetanguishene in Ontario. Going to talk to him a little bit about his upbringing, and again, a guy that's very intellectual as well and takes his schooling very seriously and his academics. Committed to Harvard, a guy that's very gifted on and off the ice in Ryder Cali. Going to get his thoughts on his mindset, the 22nd ranked North American skater in the midterm rankings for the upcoming NHL Draft. Spent a year in the OJHL last season, was acquired from North Bay, his rights from the Sioux Greyhounds, after being selected as a first-round pick in the OHL Draft and playing his first full season of the Ontario Hockey League. Get his thoughts and a little bit about him as well. One of 5 draft-eligible players for the North Bay Battalion and Ryan Houlihan this season. On the other side, we'll hear a little bit about Adam Nemec, a guy that was taken in the CHL Import Draft, a Slovakian native coming over just recently, signed his OHL contract in early January and came over to the Wolves and has played in about 20 games so far for that Wolves team, getting acclimated to the North American style, getting used to the Sudbury weather as well, I'm sure. His brother Simon is a National Hockey League first rounder by the New Jersey Devils, playing up with the Devils right now as well. Pick his brain a little bit about his relationship with his older brother and how he sort of helped navigate him through this process as well, being also in his draft year and getting used to the North American style of game. He's currently the 29th ranked international skater. Again, we'll see where he shakes out in the final rankings now that he's played a little bit of hockey here in North America. But a guy that's definitely added some jump and some boost up front for that Sudbury Wolves team that will make them a tough out in that first round matchup, even if they are in as that 8th seed. So we're going to hear from 2 draft eligible players today on this episode. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. We're going to hear from Adam Nemec first of the Sudbury Wolves, and then we'll go to Ryder Cali of the North Bay Battalion. Enjoy this installment of Friday Night Faceoff as we go across benches for this preview. Friday Night Faceoff goes tomorrow night. Sudbury and North Bay, the Northern rivalry, reunited and restarted up there. We're pleased to be joined now by Adam Nemec of the Sudbury Wolves, import player coming over from Slovakia. Has played in just over 20 games so far in your OHL career. Adam, appreciate you coming on. First off, how have you been getting adjusted to Canada and the weather up there in Sudbury?
Yeah, as you said, the weather is so cold here, but I like the winter like this. A lot of snow, but I adjusted like pretty well.
Yeah, what's the weather like back in Slovakia? Like, do you guys get a lot of snow? Like, what are you guys used to out there?
Like it's maybe like -5 maximum there. Not a lot of snow like this.
Okay, so yeah, Sudbury's definitely a little bit more snow than maybe you're used to. But talk about a little bit about your decision to come over here. Obviously, being drafted in the CHL Import Draft and coming in middle of the season. I'm sure it's not an easy thing to do, but being a big year, your NHL Draft year and things like that. What enticed you to come over to Sudbury and the OHL, the CHL to finish out your draft year?
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about Sudbury from another Slovak players like Ondrej Molnar and players like that. And I wasn't playing big roles in Slovakia, so I decided to move on, and I'm playing like more minutes here, and I like it so far.
For sure. As talking about your brother, I know he's a big impact on you, Simon, first round pick of the New Jersey Devils back in 2022, playing regularly in the National Hockey League. Just how important has he been to this process for you, and giving you advice as you've gone along here in your draft year and growing up in hockey as the older brother there?
Yeah, I'm trying to look up at him, and he gave me a lot of advices. Like we talk to each other like maybe like every day, and he gave me advices, and I'm so glad that he makes it pro.
Yeah, what was that like growing up? Because he's a defenseman, you're a forward, so you probably had a lot of opportunities to practice against him. How were those battles growing up, and how did he sort of make you a better player?
Yeah, so when we were growing up, I was usually at the net because I was the younger brother, and he put me there always, and he shoot the puck at me.
So you started off playing as goalie?
No, only at home.
Only at home. Okay, all right. So he would take shots on you. So I like that. talk about you scored your first goal in your first game against the Sioux Greyhounds. Walk me through that moment and what that felt like to get acclimated in the OHL and start off strong there.
Yeah, it was the first game wasn't that good for me. We lost, I think, 5-2 in Sioux. It was a hard game, but I scored. I'm glad I scored the first game, and I hope I keep going with goals.
Yeah. Talk about, being from Slovakia. You had to have been proud of what the country was able to do at the Olympics, making it to the Final Four, in the best on best hockey. Like, growing up playing in the international program yourself with Slovakia, just, how much has that program grown and how much do you think it'll continue to grow as you continue to, develop, really solid National Hockey League players here?
Yeah, so Slovakia is a small country compared to other countries in the Olympics. Every Slovak guy was proud of them, what they make, and it helped me a lot to play in the national program, and I'm glad I played there.
Who were maybe your favorite players growing up that you looked up to, or the guys that you were watching at the Olympics?
My brother.
Your brother? Okay. All right. That's a good answer. I know Slavkovsky's a popular one with him playing with Montreal as well, but you got to choose your brother. I get that. Talk about tomorrow night you guys are playing against North Bay. How acclimated have you gotten with the other guys of knowing what that rivalry means? It's a pretty big one up there in the Central Division. You've only played against them once in a tough 2-1 game. What has it been like, and how much are you looking forward to playing against them tomorrow night?
Yeah, I heard about the rivalry here, but it's not that big deal. We're looking like every game for the 2 points.
Yeah, talk about where you guys are, because you come in, to a team that's trying to get the best playoff positioning possible, and you're going to have a really tough first round matchup, whoever you're going to play against. So I guess what's the mentality and the mindset here as you go in the next 10 or 15 games to get yourself in that playoff shape?
I think we are playing like one man on the ice, and that's good for us, and we're good like group in the locker room, and that helps us on the ice.
Yeah, you got just over 24 points in over 20 games. How pleased have you been with your transition so far, and what are you sort of trying to, I guess, build on as you finish off your first season in the OHL, and obviously a big season for your tape as well, with it being your draft year?
It's all right, but it can be better, like always.
I guess what has been the biggest adjustment for you coming over to North America? Just maybe the style of hockey or anything off the ice, food, or money. Like what has been like the biggest transition for you coming over from Slovakia on or off the ice?
Yeah, like I got teammate, and he's also my roommate, Jan Chovan from Slovakia, so that helped me a lot. Like it's a lot cheaper here, so I like it.
Yeah, what I guess the guys on the ice, like you mentioned Chauvin there. What other guys have sort of taken you in and shown you the ropes of not only Sudbury but the OHL and everything like that? Like, who are some of the guys that you've sort of leaned on since you've got here?
Like I was asking a lot of questions of the Slovak guys who has been playing here, maybe like Tomáš Pobežal from Kingston, and other guys, other Slovak guys.
What for people that maybe aren't familiar with your style of play yet, because you've only been in the OHL for just over a month or so, what's your play style, and what are you trying to bring in a night in night out basis up there?
Like I'm high IQ player and offensive guy, and I'm trying to model my game for like Jason Robertson.
Jason Robertson, good former OHL great with Kingston and Niagara. That's a good one to follow in the footsteps of. How much do you stay in contact with your brother? I know, the OHL or the NHL has been on their break right now. They're just starting back up. But how much communication do you have with them when you guys are both in the middle of the season?
Like we are trying to call each other every day, but we just met in the summer days.
How is that sort of taking that summer to kind of reunite and hang out with each other?
Yeah, I'm so happy when we meet at the summer, and we've been hanging out almost like every day.
For sure. Do you have like one hockey memory that sort of sticks out to you so far from your career that you look back on that's been like your favorite moment playing hockey?
Maybe 2 years ago when we beat Czech in U18 quarterfinals.
U18 quarterfinals. That's a good one. Did you ever have a chance to go to any NHL games? I know when the Global Series goes over to Europe and things like that. Like, have you ever had a chance to go to games growing up, or maybe come over here to games? Like, did you ever were you ever able to go to NHL games?
Yeah, we've been like a team, like a Sudbury and Ottawa game against New Jersey Devils. So it was my first NHL game, and I enjoyed that.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but was there a favorite team you had growing up or a favorite player?
Toronto Maple Leafs.
And was there a player that you kind of looked up to as a kid?
Austin Matthews, I like his style.
Yeah, that's a good one. And your brother as well. We don't want to keep. We'll say him as well. But there's Adam Nemec of the Sudbury Wolves. Adam, really appreciate your time today. Best of luck tomorrow night against the North Bay Battalion, and best of luck the rest of the way in your draft year. And looking forward to seeing how you progress here. And all the best to you.
Thank you.
Fourth Wall is the official merchandise supplier of the Armchair GM Sports Network. Our user-friendly site is print to order with no minimum items or inventory needed, shipped right to your doorstep safely and efficiently from the North American warehouse. All of our logos are available to supporters, listeners, and viewers can have the best variety available to them for their swag preferences. All items are priced as low as possible, allowing everybody who wants to support our business with the opportunity to do so, receiving quality and comfortable products in return. Shop today at fourthwall.com with a direct link to our Armchair merch store in the description of all episodes and in the bio of all of our social media accounts. Become an Armchair GM today with Fourth Wall.
Hi, this is Mike Stubbs, radio voice of the London Knights. You are listening to Brandon Caputo on OHL Overtime.
Friday Night Faceoff goes tomorrow night up in Sudbury. North Bay Battalion, Sudbury Wolves in a Central Division rivalry matchup. We heard from Adam Nemec on the first part of today's show from the Sudbury Wolves side. Pleased to be joined now by North Bay Battalion forward, draft eligible forward, Ryder Cali. Ryder, appreciate you joining us tonight ahead of a big game tomorrow night up in Sudbury.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So a little bit about yourself. I know that you grew up in Switzerland and you lived in the Cayman Islands for a little bit, and then you moved to Ontario when you were 7 to pursue your hockey and skating and things like that. How was that transition for you as far as coming to a new country and coming here to Canada? How much do you remember of that whole process?
Yeah, I mean, as much as I can remember, I loved it. The only thing that I was missing from the Cayman Islands was ice hockey. So it was great to be able to be on the ice. I remember when I first got there, I couldn't stop. So I was the island boy showing up in the hockey rink. So everyone kind of knew who I was. It was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm so happy I moved to Ontario and to Penetang. I love hockey so much and would not have been able to do that in the Cayman Islands for sure.
Yeah, your mom, Fiona, played the NCAA at St. Cloud State, and your dad was a soccer player. So, was hockey always going to be it for you? Did you play any other sports growing up, or were you always just really focused on a hockey stick in your hands?
Yeah, well, I was put on skates when I was 2 years old. So my mom wanted me to be a hockey player. I didn't really have a choice there. So it's always been hockey. Even when I lived in the Cayman Islands, I played roller hockey. So it's been my entire life, and I'm thankful for that. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, for sure. Growing now in Penetang is just sort of your hometown now, and where you call home. I know the lake's right there. Like, what are your favorite activities in the summer? Do you like to get out on the water? Do you play golf? What do you like to do?
Yeah, I love to be out on the water. That's where I spend most of my time if I'm not in a rink or in a gym. So I love wakeboarding, wake surfing, just anywhere in the sun and enjoying the warm weather for sure. I do play golf as well. I try to as much as I can. There's not too much time in the summer balancing hockey and being on the water. So I try my best with that. But yeah, you hit it right on. Those are the two things I love doing for sure.
There you go. And I know in the summertime, you're still training and doing a lot of things to get yourself prepped for the next hockey season, because when you're a professional hockey player, it never stops. So do you really enjoy that downtime that you get out on the lake just to kind of recharge and, just sort of get your mind off of all the pressures of your hockey career and things like that? Like, how much do you sort of enjoy to wind down out there and just have a clear mind?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You need that time a little bit in the year to be able to be free from all that. So I don't like taking too much time off. I love to be on the ice, but it is really nice to be able to enjoy some time away from like you said, all those pressures and games. So yeah.
And you're committed to Harvard. That's something that I could never strive for, being able to attend an Ivy League school or anything like that. Obviously, academics is a major part of your life as well. To be able to have the opportunity to be committed to a school as prestigious as Harvard, from a young age, were academics a major part of your life as well? And how much pride do you obviously take it in that part of it as a student athlete?
Yeah, I mean, I've always been raised to just be a good student and get good grades and be respectful. So I think all the habits that I built, in elementary school and then in grade 9 and grade 10 were super helpful for me to be able to take an opportunity to go to Harvard because I do have those skills and those grades to do it. So I do take a lot of pride in school. It's something that I always have, like I mentioned. So it's kind of for me. I like to think of it as if you can't really be successful in school, it's hard to be successful other places in life because you use those skills for everything. So yeah, I'm super thankful to be able to be committed to Harvard and hopefully I get in. Still have
Yeah,
to go through admissions. So
yeah, keep those grades up, even though
yeah,
it's
exactly.
playoff time. But
Yeah.
uh, what's your favorite subject in school?
Well, I was always a history guy. I love, I like listening to history lectures and yeah, I mean it's kind of the most interesting thing I'd say. Science is pretty interesting, but I'm definitely a history guy.
So other than gym, it's history.
Yeah, that's pretty obvious. It has to be gym, but yeah, that's the second.
I was gonna say, mate, what's higher, your history grade or your gym grade? They better
Oh,
both be pretty high.
it's got to be gym, but my history grade's pretty good too. So
It's okay. I couldn't do one chin up when I was in high school, so I failed miserably in the weight part of gym. But great subject. I don't even know if you can call it a subject, but
yeah, I don't know, but I love it.
yeah, for sure. You played that year in the OJ, Ryder. How much did that sort of help you prepare for taking that next step in your hockey career, playing in the OHL now? Like, just how much did that year with Milton really help you develop at a young age there?
Yeah, I think it was vital for my career. It was kind of just the next stepping block in my career. I obviously I think it was the best place for me to go. It's just a little bit out of my comfort zone coming from minor hockey, but not that massive jump to the OHL where maybe I wouldn't be playing too much. So I thought it was the best route for me, and it's a tough league. I mean, it's really old. You can have 8 overagers on a team compared to the OHL's 3, so it's definitely a different landscape. And then some rinks you have are tiny and it's just a bash. So I think it taught me a lot. It taught me how to play against those older, stronger guys, and yeah, I got to play a lot. We made it really far, so I learned a lot of things about winning and being a professional. So I was super happy. I went there and made that decision, and I hope I'm still cheering for them. I hope they can do what we didn't do last year and win a chip. So
Yeah, they're looking pretty good right now with the playoffs about to start in the OJ. So you
yeah.
had 54 points there and then 13 points in the playoffs. And then, coming in with a lot of confidence to your first OHL full-time season. You played 5 games at the end of last year with North Bay, but 36 games played this season, 26 points. How have you felt of your rookie season, technically in the OHL, but maybe as a year older, with that year that you played in the OJ last year? Just how comfortable are you feeling now as you guys are sort of gearing up for playoff hockey?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super comfortable now. I think the 5 games that I played last year were really helpful for me just to get my foot in the water and see what the OHL really is. But yeah, this year's been phenomenal. I have great billets who have helped me transition my skills onto the ice from last year to this year. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a ton. We have a great group, and I think we can really surprise some people come playoffs.
I know you're in your draft year and the pressures of all that. I've got to imagine it's a little bit easier going through the process because you've got 4 other draft eligible guys with you in North Bay there. You know, the Parker Vaughns of the world, Ryder Cali, Evgeny Debretsev, and Arsen Pronin. Like, how much have those guys helped, and you guys collectively as a draft class, how have you sort of leaned on each other to go through, you know, what can be a very stressful year when you're trying to focus on everything else?
Yeah, we've gotten really close over this year, us especially as I guess a draft year group. We're the only ones on our team in this situation, so we can relate to each other in a way that some other guys can't. So I think we have a really healthy relationship, telling each other our situations and you know, what teams we're talking to and stuff. We're all super supportive of each other's circumstances. So I think that's super good for all of us. But there's also some healthy competition. You know, we all want to win, but if we compete against each other to be the best we can, it always turns out in a good outcome for the team. So it's been great. I love all those guys, and I wish them all good luck for the draft. And yeah, hopefully we can all be super happy.
Yeah, you guys will all be there in Buffalo, hopefully putting on National Hockey League jerseys in June. But you know, looking at this North Bay team, you know, you signed with them after the trade from Sault Ste. Marie. Other than the weather, because I know it can be quite cold up there, and you probably got a lot of snow up there in North Bay right now. How much have you enjoyed the experience under Ryan Houlihan's coaching? You know, it's a program in North Bay that went into 3 straight Eastern Conference championships at one time, and they've developed so many top end players that have now moved on and graduated to the National Hockey League or collegiate level. Like, just how much have you enjoyed being part of that battalion, I guess, pipeline?
Yeah, well, you just mentioned snow, and surprisingly, there's no snow at all.
Wow.
It's just minus 30 every day. So we get the cold, but then we don't get the snow days. It's really annoying. We've had 2 snow days this year. I was hoping coming up north we'd have a few more snow days, but the team's great. I mean, you can tell that they've been there before, and everyone knows what they're doing. And even the older guys on our team who are part of one of those conference finals, they know what it takes, and they teach that to the people who haven't been there and don't know the feeling of being in a conference final where the stakes are so high. So it's been great. Houlihan is a phenomenal coach. I love playing for him. He helps so much with our team, and I think we wouldn't be where we are without him. So yeah, I mean, in summary, it's been phenomenal. I really couldn't ask for a better situation that I'm in right now, and yeah, I hope we can keep that rolling into the playoffs.
Yeah, and speaking of tomorrow night, you've got Sudbury. You're going up there. You know, it's always an interesting old barn. You play there a lot, obviously within the division. You're 4-1 against them this season. Other than that wolf that goes across the top of the arena when the Wolves score, just how much do you enjoy that rivalry that you guys have built up there in the north with those guys?
It's great. Our coach Houlihan always says there's no team we've beat more in the entire OHL than the Sudbury Wolves. So we try to take that into every game and make sure we beat them. Obviously, the points are huge, especially while we're in the same division. We play each other 8 times, so those 8 games could be a big swing. So we played them second game of the year, and that's when we started our rivalry, and we got our mindset into trying to take all 8 games. We dropped 1, but I'm hoping we can take them all. That barn is all right. I mean, it's freezing in there before the game, and the wolf is super annoying. But I do love playing there. The fans get pretty rowdy, and it's pretty fun to beat them there for sure. So hopefully we can do that on Friday.
I got to ask you what the 7th man is like, and coming out of that inflatable tank there up in North Bay at the Memorial Gardens. I'm sure it might have been a shock for you the first couple of times, but how much are you enjoying? You know, how passionate the battalion and the 7th man are up there.
It's amazing. I experienced it a little bit last year in the 5 games, but this year I really got to I really got to be in the environment fully. So it's fun playing in front of them. It's fun scoring, and it's fun winning in front of the 7th man. So I hope they can keep coming and support us through a playoff run, and hopefully we can give them a good show and take them really far.
Is there anybody that you really lean on, some of those leaders on the team that have been there for a long time that you've become close with, or that you know, really just try to, you know, push you through here as a younger player?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, Precision. He's our captain. He's a role model for everyone on our team. He does everything so well on the ice and off the ice. He's really professional, and I respect him so much. He's definitely a guy that I try and be like every day and try and chase towards to be like him. He's an amazing hockey player, and he's a great role model and leader for us. I've gotten really close with Parker Vaughn. Him and I are pretty tight, so I definitely rely on him a lot. You know, we talk a lot about games and how we're doing, so we have a really healthy relationship.
Yeah, hopefully nobody gets you guys mistaken Ryder Cali and Ryder Cali. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
You guys almost have the exact same name.
Yeah, not only that, we have Bronson Ride, and his nickname is Ryder. So we got 3 Riders and a Ryder Cali and a Cali. It's gets confusing. We have it down now. I'm Cal's, Ryder Cali is Cares, and then Bronson Ride is Ryder. So we got a little bit of distinction, but for a little bit it was pretty annoying. Looking up at the coach on the bench saying, "Who's going?" I have no idea. So
you guys had to adjust your nicknames for 1 year to accommodate everybody.
Exactly.
Last question for you, Ryder. I mean, you guys are 5th place in the conference right now, and you're battling, trying to maybe get that home ice advantage over Peterborough in a 4-5 matchup. That's not a tough. That's always a tough one to be in, but when you guys stack up against some of those, the Brantfords, the Barries, the Ottawas in the conference, like how confident are you guys going down the stretch for the final 10 or so games that you'll be ready to go once the puck drops for game 1 of the playoffs?
Yeah, collectively we're super confident. We made it our goal to get 4th place and get that home ice for round 1. So that's what we're striving for, and we're really just trying to get hot at the right time. We want to be rolling going into playoffs. So we know what we can do. We really want to surprise some people with how we can play and then how we can win. We're super deep, and we have a great decor and a great goalie. So we really couldn't ask for much more. We just got to show it on the ice.
Absolutely. The North Bay Battalion have clinched a playoff spot for the OHL playoffs, and again are looking for more come first round and trying to get that top seeding within that first round home ice advantage come playoff time, possibly over the Peterborough Petes. Ryder Cali, forward number 17 of the North Bay Battalion. Ryder, really appreciate this chat today. Had a lot of fun, and best of luck down the stretch, and look forward to seeing you guys go far in North Bay in the playoffs, and then also seeing your name called in June in Buffalo.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you again to North Bay Battalion forward Ryder Cali and Sudbury Wolves import forward Adam Nemec. Great insight there about their hockey upbringings, a little bit about them as well. Adam obviously coming over and getting adjusted to this North American style from Slovakia and growing up in a growing hockey country. Exciting times for them, being in the Final Four of the Olympics of men's hockey. Very proud things for the Slovakian native, and a lot about how he grew up looking up to his brother, now playing in the National Hockey League with the New Jersey Devils. Ryder Cali has a lot of pedigree with his family. His mom was an NCAA hockey player, and his dad was a soccer player. So again, they had him on skates at a very early age, and when he came over to Ontario, that's when things really started to take off as a 7-year-old, and then for him to really develop into a hopeful professional hockey player, and obviously a great academic as well. A guy that, again, committed to an Ivy League school down the road. That's not an easy thing, and not everybody is gifted enough to have those abilities on and off the ice. Ryder Cali, a great chat with him. Great young man, and look forward to seeing him continue to develop here with this North Bay Battalion team that's going to be in a real tough, most likely 4-5 matchup in the playoffs, and Sudbury going to go up against most likely the number 1 team, whoever that ends up being, between the Barrie Colts, the Brantford Bulldogs, and the Ottawa 67s at the top of the Eastern Conference. But should be a great rivalry matchup tomorrow night for Friday Night Faceoff. North Bay Battalion, Sudbury Wolves. North Bay plays a game tonight in Peterborough as well. So they've got another game before this happens. Sudbury coming off a loss as well in their most recent game last night against the Sioux Greyhounds, in a very spirited matchup against another northern rival, even though cross conference. So this should be a great matchup between these two teams. It always is. It'll be the 6th installment this season between the Battalion and the Wolves up at the Sudbury Community Arena. We'll see if that Wolf comes across the top of the arena there. When the Wolves do score, sometimes it takes them a little bit to get out there, but always an iconic piece of that old school Sudbury Community Arena, with not many that are still around in the Ontario Hockey League. So that's going to wrap it up for this installment of Friday Night Faceoff and our preview going across both benches. Thank you once again to the North Bay Battalion, and more specifically Ryder Cali and the Sudbury Wolves and Adam Nemec for being part of today's episode. And again, thank you to the media teams from both of those organizations for able to facilitate this in a timely manner. And once again, thank you to the Ontario Hockey League for their cooperation in this project. So stay tuned on X Spaces tomorrow night on the Armchair GM Sports Network YouTube channel for our post-game show. We'll have a few more media correspondents. We'll break down this game specifically and take a look at the entire slate of games for the Ontario Hockey League on another, as always, busy Friday night. Hopefully you can join us then as well. So until next time, this has been another episode of OHL Overtime right here on the Armchair GM Sports Network. Thank you to everybody that tuned in on the video version on YouTube. Make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, smash that bell, comment your thoughts on today's show. To those who chose to listen to us on your favorite on-demand audio podcast platform, and again, you can give us a follow on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok by searching the Armchair GM Sports Network. Until next time, this is another edition of the Friday Night Faceoff preview here in the Ontario Hockey League, North Bay Battalion, Sudbury Wolves. I'm your host, Brandon Caputo, and we'll talk to you again very soon. You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.